What's up, my star family? Welcome back to a brand new video. And so, I can imagine the title sounds kind of crazy, maybe exaggerated, but today I'm talking about connecting with one and oneness, and how it can kind of be a distraction, or how it can actually in some ways block our growth, like our spiritual individual growth. Not in maybe the collective too, maybe thinking about it, because alright, I'm gonna get into it, but before I do that, so there are a lot of Facebook groups on YouTube, Twitter. Well, not really Twitter. Twitter is more like, well, it's not about just social media. It's about the sense of community, the sense of home. And I guess what I'm trying to transition to is enlightenment. And the goal, I believe, the goal is it's not a race to enlightenment, if you get what I mean. It's not about who can reach enlightenment first, or who can maintain the highest vibration. It's not about that. It's about first off, it's about you individually. That's what comes first off. So, focusing on you, focusing on your relationship to the universe, but also it's important to understand as a collective and as an individual to be able to feel the source that we all originated from. Yeah, whatever you want to call it, the universe, God, however you label it, we all come from existence. And I don't believe our purpose is to race back to that, but to actually explore our individual, personal, our individual paths, and kind of like be able to feel that connection, but also so basically not racing to, not trying to come back to source, because the source doesn't want to come back together necessarily. Not saying that it wants you to forget where you came from. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's just, it's like, how I view it personally is kind of like hide and seek. And you just, in a way, keep, what's the word I'm looking for? You become aware, and you become the best possible version of yourself, and you live your life as that. And when it's time for us to come back to source, maybe one day we will at some point, but even when even when we come back to source, we're all gonna split apart again. Maybe. I don't I don't exactly believe that, but yeah, I don't exactly believe this, but if this turns out to be true, that once all the Big Bang particles and stuff come back together, if that's actually true, then the universe will just will come back together, then just spread out again. It's not gonna stay because it's bored. Think about it. Like, if imagine you had the powers of a god and you could achieve and do anything you want, anything you can imagine. Now, imagine your life right now. Think about how perfect it is right now, that when you first came to Earth, you didn't know any of this at first because you chose to forget, which is what made it more fun. Way, way, way riskier, but more fun in a way. Because there's a chance, there's a 50-50 chance things could go wrong when you incarnate on Earth. And there's a chance that things can go really right. And it's kind of like a tug of war, to be honest. Kind of like a tug of war. But another thing, the last thing I want to get into, actually, before I end this video, is the way people in the way use source and the feeling of home and connection as manipulation. Because, like, I'm not bashing Christianity or anything, but let's take churches for example. Back when we had church wars and stuff, if you live in the US, see, those people were righteous and they believed what they were doing was right, but it was all manipulation, because witchcraft and stuff is basically the unknown, which you should stay away from. But a lot of people didn't understand it at the time, which what made them fear it and call it evil. Then maybe some of it was evil, like black magic and voodoo and stuff, but not all of it were. Not all people, I should say. Not all people had that intent. But the church leaders and stuff used manipulation tactics, and like the feeling of I belong to this people, to basically do whatever they want. I might or might not upload this. I'm still deciding. Well, maybe I'll explain my thoughts better if I did it in this video later on, but anyways, if I do end up releasing this, if you enjoyed this video, let me know your opinions down below, and yeah, leave a like, subscribe, it helps out the channel, and see you in another version of the Now. Later.